The idea of artisan pipes is really, really cool to me. I mean, to everyone, right? Come on, ladies and gents getting their hands dirty with dust and wax and polishes and stains, woodworking, working with such an abundant, vital, and beautiful resource, and in our case, artistically, pipe carving is a human tradition that continues today. Giants from the past include Sixton and Lars Iverson, which led to the Yes Conowitzes, the Todd Johnsons, the Jeff Gracicks, and the Jody Davises. Today we have many journeyman artisans and budding artisans like Nate Rose from Canada, Trey Rice from Texas, Chris Mattiota of C. Martin Pipes, Joe Hinkle the Pipe Maker, my pal Angelo of Il Cerchio, Papa Bear's Pipes, Grunwald Pipes, Neil from Garage Made Pipe Tool. There's many, many, many more. There's so many new artisans, and they're coming onto the scene. They're continuing to enter the scene. Like my mom. Well met, friends. My name is Adam, and this is Get Piped, where we love to pipe. And today's piping is all about something very special. I love special episodes. This episode will cover one of the most incredibly enriching pipe-related experiences that I've had. Now, to set that stage, it takes place surrounding not a pipe show per se, but more of a pipe event. A smoke show, really. No, not the early 2000s adjective describing an attractive lady, but an event that brings the love of tobacco and smoke to the forefront, be it pipe or cigar or a quality hand-rolled cigarette. This smoke show brings all those who love this art together. You already know how much I love pipe shows, so it's really no wonder how I found myself at this particular event for the fifth time, but the circumstances around the trip are extra special. The show is a bi-yearly event, meaning for the past 3 years, a small tobacconist in Gainesville, Georgia called Smitty Cigar Lounge has held a gathering every single January and July, both summer and winter events highlighting a different aspect of our hobby, but all with the same singular goal, to bring pipe people and cigar people together, to smoke, drink, laugh, smile, reflect, and relax. Smitty's is a special place. It's in a small town in North Georgia, owned and operated by its two owners, Rob and Don. They put their hearts into their lounge, making it a remarkable place to retreat for a pipe or a cigar. Now, a few years ago, Smitty's partnered with a man named Dave Shane, if you don't know him. Dave Shane is a master of pipes, a coveted award which is bestowed only to 2 individuals a year by the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club at every single Chicago pipe show. Dave is known for the brand The Pipery, the company responsible for the ever-loved pocket jars and the newly introduced cigar jars. But Dave received his Master of Pipes for the incredible selfless contribution to the deployed service members across the world, with his program titled The Free Pipe Project, an ongoing nonprofit charity that sends tobacco, pipes, and everything you could possibly need to smoke a pipe to soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines around the globe. So what started as a mini pipe show, Dave, Rob, and Don have created an intimate expo that warrants great lengths of travel to attend. Trust me, I've made like a 7-hour trip several times by car. But the Smitty Smoke Show has featured presentations, raffles, slow smoke competitions, tables of estate pipes, leather-made goods, handcrafted drinkware, hand-forged plug tobacco knives, and a rotating panel of artisan pipe makers. Additionally, of course, the Smitty's bar is always pouring pints of Guinness, your favorite mixed drinks and non-alcoholics. They got a walk-in humidor, which is open for your perusing, and the shop's comfy leather chairs are ready for smoking. Now, as I have mentioned before, I've been to 5 of the last 6 shows, having missed only one. This past winter, due to the birth of my beautiful daughter, Mari, or Get Wiped. But I was incredibly excited to return to the summer 2025 event, this time with a new partner in crime, my own mother, aka Get Mommed. Yeah, my mom is by far my biggest supporter in life. She watches every single YouTube video. She listens to every single episode of the Get Pipe podcast. She's even purchased her own copy of Battle of the Briar, our pipe making documentary. both digital and hard copy, and I would give those to her for free, but she really insisted on purchasing them herself, and has honestly funded a lot of my travels and even equipment from time to time. Hell, she would even frequently tune into my incredibly cringe live stream gaming era from the Mixer and Twitch days. That's a good mom. Those must have been hard to watch. And while not a pipe smoker herself, she decided that it was time to attend a pipe show with her son. Thus, we built a plan to fly her down from the north to the south, and together we made the trip to Smitty Cigars for the summer 2025 event. Now, to save your time, because I know I'm a rambling man, I'll cut right to the event. So we flew into Atlanta the day before the show started to meet up with Dave Shane and all the invited artisans for that event. That Friday was dedicated to the invite-only private event at the abode of artisan pipe maker Kevin Foster of Foster Handmade Pipes. Now, Kevin is one of my closest pipe maker friends. I've owned several of his pipes over time and found that one of my most smoked and daily rotation pipes is in fact a Foster Handmade. I love this little guy. This has been my go-to for quite some time, and it's certainly not going anywhere. This Friday event is extraordinary, for it features all of the event's exhibitors. Now, it is private and invite only, but it's an opportunity for those folks to smoke pipes, discuss pipes, creation methods, tooling, and processes. In fact, they don't only talk it, they do it. Historically, Smitty Smoke Show has featured an event pipe for raffle, a pipe that was created from start to finish, all in the 24 hours prior to the show, an incredible collaboration between upwards of half a dozen artisan makers to create a beautiful piece of work that would soon be raffled off to one lucky winner at the show. Additionally, all proceeds of the raffle would funnel back to Dave's free pipe project. I was so happy to bring my mother and experience the craft live and in person, each artisan adding their own touch of creativity and engineering to the pipe, bringing it closer to completion. We smoked, we joked, and we laughed, and we marveled. She loved the process. She loved the chats. She loved the people, and I did too, Mom. Yet Mom asked the questions. She learned the pipe making story, the individual artisans' histories, and ultimately left with a greater appreciation of the world of smoking pipe. The appreciation then honestly compounded when my mom became an artisan pipe maker herself. Yes, that's right. The incredible cast of artisans all agreed in secret to let my mom join in on the project. My good friend Stefan Cashwell of Cashwell Pipes called her over and talked her through the art of sand blasting. My mom then donned the big blasting gloves and stepped into the machine, manned the foot pedal, harnessing the power of the blast. Now, let me tell you, this in my mind was a horrible idea. Sandblasting is an art, yes, but it's also incredibly technical in the sense that you really have to know what you're doing. You really have to know your machine. You have to know the wood you're working with, the wood that you're blasting. And I can attest to this because I've had my own firsthand experience absolutely destroying a pipe via sandblast at the Peterson Pipe Factory in Dublin, Ireland. Yeah, true story. When factory manager Jonathan Fields and managing director Glenn Whelan took me on a tour, the two Irishmen hyped me up and convinced me and encouraged me to step into the machine and blast a pipe or two. They say, oh, it's real easy. It's just point and shoot, this type of operation. I'm sure you're familiar with it as an American soldier. And I was like, sure, okay. And then I put in the thing, I put my hands in the thing, I pick up the pipe, and within seconds of blasting this pipe, the thing is pretty much on fire. The pressure being shot out was so high. No one told me that you had to be careful with this kind of stuff. And it was not a great pipe. It was actually horrible. Yeah, I burned a hole deep into the side of the bowl. Yeah, and it turns out high pressure sand being shot out at flammable objects at a rate of unprecedented speed can do some damage to the structural integrity of the item. Yeah, the two lads laughed it off and said that no worries, we'll fix it up, and some poor lad will have it later. So someone out there is smoking what was a horribly blasted pipe by Get Piped, currently in the rotation. I don't know. That's funny. But moving back to this pipe, The stakes were much higher here. The pipe needed to be completed that day. The freehand pipe had come so far, and there was no going back. Dave Shane just kind of laughed and shrugged, and all the artisans surrounding her in confidence and support, she began blasting the pipe. I had my eyes closed, but my mom ended up putting some serious blasting into the pipe. This wasn't a quick 10-second, you did it, move along type thing, kind of like what you'd tell a toddler, make them think they're the hero in a project. But no, my mom spent a solid 5 minutes or so blasting the intricate mini mountains and valleys into the side of the freehand pipe, the instruction of Stephen Cashwell. The result blew my mind, honestly. So sorry for ever doubting you, Mom. Yeah, it was crazy. In fact, her contribution was so instrumental to the pipe that the artisans made her sign the pipe. They called her over to initial the Briar, to which she objected, "I'm not an artisan," to which they all replied, "But worked on the pipe, so it needs your initials." The result? A collaboration pipe with the initials of 6 artisans: Stephen Cashwell, Reed Robertson, Brandon Brooks, Brian McCauley, Kevin Foster, and Get Mommed. Unreal. I'll play out a little montage of the experience to transition us into the day of the actual event, but it was an absolute blast, so enjoy this little pipe making seminar, if you may, where Get Mommed becomes a hero.
Somebody play the theme song from Ghost.
What is that? What song is that?
Oh, this is a great shot.
Oh yeah. On portrait mode, where she's holding the pipe out in front, and so the pipe is
all blurry and it's just
now all blurry.
Okay, I can do that. Portrait mode.
So light for this.
Is it a clincher?
Oh, it's a clincher. Yeah, I can clinch this.
Oh, showing the dad.
Yeah.
And then they show the one guy who looks
He's
goes,
like, whoop it.
that was good.
So next was Saturday, the day of the show. Get Mommed and I got there just after the doors opened around 10, and we ended up staying there all the way until 6 p.m. or so. The day was filled with everything enjoyable about a smoke show, right? Pipes, cigars, drinks, conversation, laughs, learning, and maybe a little bit of purchasing Yes, I ended up picking up my first and long overdue pipe from Reed Robertson. I met Reed a few years ago here at Smitty's. It's been amazing to see his growth as a pipe maker. It was also full circle to purchase from him directly at the show. I picked up this really awesome stacked pipe. Absolutely love the color choice here, and while I typically shy away from white acrylic stems, despite their beauty due to the airway tending to darken over time from the smoke and tar, but man, I love this stack. It was just such a sweet deal. I love this thing, the shape, the proportions, everything that I like in a pipe are here. Plus, he's awesome. So if I ever want a new stem, he'll make one for me. I actually got to smoke some pretty spectacular tobacco out of this pipe at the show, specifically from microblender Anthony James of Appalachian Custom. I smoked a bowl of his newest codger-like burley called Family Tradition, a blend that harkens back to the old school burley days with a special personal connection, as the artwork features his great-grandfather and his great-grandmother. I'm sure they are looking down so proud. Actually, maybe not. They might be pissed because I guarantee this blend is way better than anything your great-grandfather or your great-grandmother could have probably got their hands on. He's probably up there punching the air, demanding you ship off 2 pounds of it a week up to heaven. So I don't know. It's good stuff, but no, but seriously, please go check out Anthony of Appalachian Customs if you want to experience another side of the tobacco blending world. Find him currently on Instagram at Appalachian Customs 89 and tell him I sent you. He's got a wide array of pipe tobacco. He's always introducing new stuff, and it's all home and hand blended. Another fantastic aspect of such events is the charitable hearts of pipe people. My second bowl of tobacco in the double R pipe was a bowl of Edgeworth. Yes, the Edgeworth still sealed from the 1950s. The tin that Dave graciously cracked open for all to smoke was probably worth upwards of $2,000. Now, of course, that's for a very, very specific collector, not you or me, but it was still great to taste and enjoy a 75-year-old pipe tobacco blend, harkening back to a forgotten age of pipe smoking. And no, 75 years did not taint the blend, it didn't dry the blend. Here's the proof. Watch how sealed this product was as the bulging tin from years of aging was finally opened by Dave Shane. Absolutely incredible. It's crazy. So tobacco was flowing and pipes were smoking. Somewhere throughout the day, the show hosted a slow smoke competition as well. This tradition has graced hundreds of pipe shows of the past and will grace another 100 pipe shows of the future. The top 3 finishers enjoyed some sweet prizes too. I didn't participate because I wanted to film. It was really cool to see this aspect of our art come alive through the lens. So I really enjoyed sitting back, not worrying about smoking 2 grams of tobacco for as long as I can. Instead, get to enjoy the ambiance of the competitors. Afterward, I pulled the trigger one more time on an acquisition. I know, but I had been eyeing a couple of Brandon Brooks pipes from the day before when I saw them at Kevin's house. You all know my story mentioned in my first Chicago pipe show video where Brandon graciously taught me how to haggle when purchasing a pipe from him. Well, this time I redeemed myself. I went up to him and I said, "I've been waiting for you, Brandon, to we meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master." I worked with Brandon Brooks to purchase this absolutely breathtaking pipe. A bowl befitting of a quality flake like my beloved H.H. Burley flake, the dark side brother to my first Brandon Brooks pipe from several years ago. An epic pipe with exacting precision and detail. Now, as I mentioned, the show is very open concept in the sense that pipers can come and go as they please with no entry fee. They're free to enjoy the free tobacco, the free breakfast, the free barbecue lunch, the free merriment, and that's exactly what me and my mom did. My mom went and mingled and explored pipes and tobacco while I shot film and engaged with listeners of the podcast and viewers of the channel. When we reconvened, she revealed to me her very first pipe acquisition, an artisan pipe from the artisan pipe maker Kevin Foster of Foster Handmade. How incredible. A little billiard with beautiful grain and stain and a small cocobolo accented inlay. This pipe is also quite fascinating because it actually comes from a very, very old block of Briar that came directly from the foundation of all Briar pipe making in history, St. Claude, France. Kevin recently returned from the revered St. Claude Pipe Show and found himself in the iconic Genode retail shop. He began chatting with a third-generation pipe maker who had a basket of old Briar blocks in the corner of the shop that, judging by the dust atop the blocks, weren't really intended to be for sale. But the special occasion had the gentleman offering to sell some of the blocks to the group of pipe makers that Kevin was among. The block he ended up bringing home became the pipe you see before you, and the pipe that my incredibly French-rooted mother ended up purchasing. This is something that she will learn from this video, actually, so funny how things are just often meant to be in the pipe world. I love this pipe, and one day I'm sure it will rest within my collection, but that's a long, long time away. In the meantime, my mom smoked her very first pipe for the first time under the instruction of Master of Pipes, Dave Shane. I'll close my tale with the shocking yet fitting end to the event, the pipe raffle. Of course, I had to enter into the raffle. After all, my mom helped make the pipe. Plus, I reasoned that if, God forbid, World War III happens and I invest the money into the free pipe project, maybe one day I'll find the ROI, return on investment, as those pipes get sent to me one day. I put 10 tickets into the raffle and was absolutely shocked when my name was picked at random from the box of 85 plus entries. It was truly meant to be. Thank you so much to Rob and Don of Smitty Cigars. Thank you to Dave for everything you do for the pipe community. And thank you to Kevin Foster for hosting us at your home for the Pipe Makers event. And lastly, thank you for your time, for watching, for commenting, and always engaging in the Get Pipe side of the pipe community. But for now, I'm off to save the pipe smoking world. But once again, I don't know how I'll pull it off. But until then, you have all just been piped. And until the next piping, I'm out. After some coffee.